welcome to the newest, currentest, baddest edition of Cautionary Tales from the Red Chair. Brought to you by Jake.
And Sam.
All right. So,
and that would be the newest as long as you're listening to this in sequential order.
Episode 1 to what would this be, 5?
I don't know.
4 or 5?
I'm not counting.
Who knows? Who knows?
We've already been canceled, so.
That is true. So we're doing an emergency podcast today, because I'm going to be gone next week up at Lake Winnebagosh, enjoying some fun fishing, hopefully some sun. Had to squeeze it in after volleyball tonight. Sand volleyball, we lost every single game.
Oh, so it was worth it.
Oh, hell yeah. It was a blast, though. It's always a good time. Just ridiculousness all the way around. But, yeah, we played the best team in our league. See, they're like, it's funny because the way they have it set up is it's like Thursday night, upper league. Thursday night, lower league. We're in the lower league.
Oh, of course you are.
Yeah, you should see the teams that are in the upper league. They're actually pretty good. They like do the whole bump, set, spike routine, while most of us, we kind of just swat, carry, and fuck up. That's how we play.
And haphazardly hit over the net.
If we can.
Yep. Most of the time it ends up in the back of somebody's head, but that's neither here nor there.
It's hilarious because there's this one team that's in the upper league. Obviously, we don't play against them because they're good. But the median age of this team is 55. I'd have to swear they're all gray hairs, but they can fucking move.
Well, that's because they've been playing with each other for the last 40 years.
I swear that's exactly what it is.
When you got that kind of chemistry going on.
They're schooling punks half their age. It's a blast to watch. It's so funny. I mean, there's this one guy, he walks with a limp. But when he's out on that court, he's running and sprinting like he's a
he walks with the limp just to throw you off, so you're like, that guy's nothing.
Just like Kaiser Soze.
Yeah, he's the ringer.
Exactly. So it was entertaining. My feet are still fucking dirty as shit.
What? There's no Jesus washer?
Mm-mm. They have a hose that you spray yourself off with. That's about as much luxury.
When you started that, I was gonna say, well, that's a lot better. They got some hose.
They got some hose. Fucking hose.
You just walk over to the side and they tongue bath your feet.
Yep, exactly. You got that hose, those underage hose. Oh, actually, that's brilliant. That actually brings me into like the first thing I wanted to talk to you about tonight.
When does that happen?
I don't know. That was pretty impressive.
What does this say?
Yeah, do we have...
I'm not used to the scripting shit.
No, ironically enough, it's actually not. But this is hilarious because it's in local news too. I found this probably 2 days ago. The headline is...
It was about me flashing the mirror. That was just strictly a bet.
Sorry, I had to put you up to that. But the headline is... This is local news too, by the way. Headline is cheerleader accused of prostituting younger student. A suburban Minneapolis high school cheerleader is accused of prostituting a younger student by creating an online ad and taking her to see potential customers, pocketing $60 in one case.
Wow.
Yeah. What is it? Montia Marie Parker, 18, of Maple Grove, faces felony charges of sex trafficking and promoting prostitution. So basically, she's a senior at Hopkins High School, and she set up this 16-year-old friend of hers on Backpage.com. I have no idea what this is. It must be like a Craigslist for prostitutes.
I have no idea what that is.
For some reason, I think you're lying to us and the listeners. So basically, she got this 16-year-old friend of hers from the school, and she pocketed $60 for having her 16-year-old friend give oral sex to a dude.
Oh, hey, I'm just gonna say $60 for a blowjob. They're pulling down some champion money there to be beginners anyway.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sorry, but what the fuck is wrong with people? Typically in most sex trafficking cases, it's usually adults trafficking the younger children. Well, technically,
we're getting all the story here, though. I mean, I don't understand how she could force. Like, I understand the whole pimp
peer pressure, really action, because the student, according to the article, the student that was being prostituted was complaining about not having any money. So her friend is like, I know how you can make some fucking money.
Yeah, this still doesn't sound like peer pressure to me, though.
Well, desperate times. Sam. When the federal,
that's what I'm saying. She went to the oldest profession she could.
exactly. When the Federal Reserve takes all your money, you ain't got nothing left but turning tricks.
Yeah.
So this is what this 16-year-old girl is doing, is turning tricks. And what I want to know, are these John's high school students, or are they fucking grown-ass men engaging in underage sex trafficking?
You know, I'm not going to say one way or another if they were grown men or if they weren't, but what I will say about it is, and you can honestly, anybody who's ever seen them at this day and age can back me up on this one, is a 16-year-old can look like a 26-year-old real easy this day and age.
that is very true.
I haven't seen her. I don't know any of this. I'm just trying to say it might, you might not want to just harsh it out like that, because who knows what they were looking at. They might have been looking at a chick that
regardless
looks way older than that.
But regardless, she was still 16. I
understand that, but I mean, yes, they were looking for a piece of ass, but they weren't looking for a 16-year-old piece of ass, maybe.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah. They might have thought she was just a prostitute, not an underage prostitute.
Oh, the old underage bait and switch.
That's what I'm saying.
Seen it 1,000 times.
Well, you gotta... Anytime I'd be, involved in something like that, and I'm not saying would, I said anytime I would be.
Every time I am is what you should have said.
I'm just always thinking, you open that door and there's going to be some guy that's like, hey, come here and sit down. No, just sit down. I've got some questions for you. Ah, shit, it's Chris Matthews.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, my God. Dude, that would be terrible.
Oh, I just can't understand that. Being like, oh, no, I just came here to meet my friend. Oh, yeah, with some flowers and condoms, huh?
Yep, and a six-pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Yep. We were going to make balloon animals, but they were out of balloons. I mean, there's really no way that you can do. That's why I got the unlubricated ones.
Oh, no. Dude, that just brings, like, this seedy understory to the whole, like, because he was going to fuck her without just rod on it.
That's what I got out of watching that show, though, is if you're ever going to go someplace, make sure they're unlubricated so you can have a stupid sob story like that. Being like, no, you got this all wrong.
See, what happened was...
See, I brought the hamburgers because we were going to eat some, and then we were going to make some balloon animals. It's all there on their text messages. Just go ahead and read that. While you're doing that, I'm going to go out and for a quick smoke.
And then that's when the fucking police tackle you.
Oh, fuck that, man. In that time, I'll be like fucking Randy Moss. Back in his heyday, I might have.
His heyday. Oh, shit.
Just jump the 6-foot wall right off.
Looking like Will Smith and Men in Black.
Damn straight.
The first one.
Yeah, I don't know. That kind of shit is always fucked up, though. I've only seen like one of those episodes, and I didn't even watch the whole thing. I just can't believe that he can get people to sit down just by going, no, just sit down.
Just sit down. They all do. I mean, because you got to be dumbfounded. You're like, dude, I was this close to getting some fucking underage tang. And all of a sudden, fucking Silver dude fucking walks in. Hey, you know who I am? I'm like, son of a bitch.
I wonder if there's ever anybody who's actually like, looked at him and been like, you gonna watch?
I didn't know your dad wanted to watch.
You're like, I didn't know this was a double, but I guess I'm down for it. You don't get any of the hard lemonade, though.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to need all 6 of these to make this fucking happen.
You can buy your own, asshole.
You're of age. You can buy for your daughter, too. Then I don't get in trouble for that.
Oh, and you know what the funny part is? If you're listening to this, you wouldn't understand it, but, well, I guess I should just say it. Before the show, we were actually going to talk about a story that happened in India, and I actually told Jake, we probably shouldn't talk about rape on the show, and this is what we end up with.
Less than 10 minutes in, we're talking about trafficking underage fucking Hopkins high school students.
Oh, man. Oh, classy show tonight.
Classy. We got to class it up a little bit.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. What's the new classiest thing I can think of? Oh, great movie. I saw it last night called Dark Skies.
Dark Skies, you said?
Yes, it has Felicity. It's an alien flick. You remember Carrie Russell from Felicity? And what she in that Americans on FX?
I don't know.
These days, I've watched a couple episodes. I didn't really get too entranced. They're pretty good, but I digress.
I haven't been the biggest fan of hers, so I don't really follow her.
You didn't watch Felicity back in the 1900s?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't watch any of that kind of shit. Like,
she has still got it going on. All I gotta say is there's a couple scenes in there where she's not wearing a bra, just like a little tank top, and it was a little chilly on set that day, and she's still got it going on. That's all I'm gonna say. But Dark Skies itself is a movie.
Special effects have a lot to do. It's easy to make anybody look good when you got hours with a computer.
Touche.
I could have an awesome B cup if I had a couple hours with it. Well, I do have a good B cup. I need the bra. If there's no bra, then nobody's going to be going, ooh, it's a chilly night. Everybody's going to be going, oh my God, man, can you get a shirt that fits you?
Oh my God. Dude, that's somebody that reminds me of tonight at volleyball. The guy I work with, he was on the other team when I was, that I was playing for, subbing for, and he got an ace, and all of a sudden he turns to me, lifts up his shirt. This dude's like 45, bald, you know what I mean? He's just a hilarious guy. And he lifts up his shirt, and I just started laughing. I go, if you get the next one's an ace, you have to lick your nipple. He serves it, it was an ace. I was like, lick your fucking nipple.
Oh, did he?
No.
What a dick.
I know. He welched. But I digress. Again, with the Dark Skies, have you ever even heard of this flick?
I believe
it's like one of the. It's like an alien.
It rings a
horror movie, but I will have to say it was actually quite good. Except for the only part that kind of offended me is it had the dude. I can't remember his name from Oz, but he was Juno's dad in Juno. Who's that great actor?
Okay. I don't know, but he plays on one of the like NYPD Blues or whatever as well.
I can never remember his name. I know his face.
He's a really good.
Amazing.
But he is. He's one of those actors where as soon as I know his name, I say it once, and then 10 minutes. It's kind
of like William H. Macy. It took me 20 years to finally remember his fucking name.
No, Fargo cemented that one in my mind. As soon as Fargo came out, I went, I fucking hate that guy. No, I'm just kidding.
Who the fuck is that dude? Fuck him.
No, I think he's awesome, but I hate that movie.
But so, needless to say, Juno's father, he plays the UFO expert and abductee kind of dude where he's experienced it.
Probed again, just like Oz.
Yep. But the worst part about it was he goes, there's only 3 types of aliens. There's the Greys, the cephalopods, which look like mantises, and the reptilians. The reptilians are the least likely of all 3 of the options. I'm like, bullshit, that's Illuminati propaganda. Trying to tell me there ain't no reptilians ruling us and entrapping us in this prison planet. That's Illuminati propaganda. And what about the Nordics? Do they not notice the Nordics? There's another group. I mean, come on. This is an alien flick and you're going to try to pull this bullshit on me? Saying there's only 3 specific types of aliens. What about the Nordics? Knowing. Nick Cage had the Nordics. So right there, they don't even have it.
Nick Cage is a Nordic.
He could be an alien.
I believe he is. Him and Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. But I mean, that part kind of annoyed me, but the whole movie was pretty good. It was actually, it had a little twist at the end.
And Vin Diesel's biceps. I think those are aliens as well.
That is such a
not Vin Diesel, statement. But his biceps are.
That is such a random statement.
I wanted to see where you'd go with that.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, it just stumped you.
It did. Vin Diesel. Alien biceps. Got nothing.
Let's dissect them.
Let's dissect.
That's all I'm saying. That's all we're going to ever know is just by dissecting them.
That is very true.
Sorry, Vin.
We tried to
for the greater good.
You gotta break a few eggs to make a fucking omelet.
We might be able to put him back. I don't know though.
Don't do it. No, what has he made of any relevance ever? How many Fast and Furious movies does this world need before we just send him out to pasture?
According to that commercial, they keep getting better.
I don't know. I haven't seen the newest installment, but I haven't
seen like the last 6 of them.
Well, there is only 6.
Well, I haven't seen the last 5 of them.
You've only seen the first one?
Yes.
The second one was decent. The third one, they completely went off track because they had maybe a cameo for like 2 seconds of fucking Vin Diesel, and it was all taking place in Tokyo, where they did drifting. It was called Tokyo Drift.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
It had like Josh Lucas, I think the dude's name was.
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
No Paul Walker?
No, they couldn't get him back for the third. But then all of a sudden, when they started
He must
getting
have been
into,
taking some acting lessons.
I don't think that would have helped. He's pretty terrible.
Him and I want to see him and Keanu Reeves in a movie together. Oh. Dude.
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 Whoa.
Yup. Not there, dude. Like, seriously, that's all the movie would be. And a bunch of weird, awkward poses where you don't know if they're about to shit or if they're about to say something profound.
They're never going to say anything profound.
Oh, yeah, they will, but there's only like one line per movie where they actually say something cool, and then the rest of it is just... Okay, the lines might have been good, but... You kind of have to have a little bit of emotion in your voice.
That is true.
They're like, dude, we gotta save her, dude.
Well, dude, they
I know, but like that's his Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and he carried that through his career.
Oh, that is very true. Yeah, he even played the same guy in that Steve Martin movie, Parenthood, which was good, by the way. I enjoyed that flick. No comment on the flick. I enjoyed that whole part because I saw it when before I was like 10, and then that whole aspect of where he phoned like a vibrator when I was that age, I'm like, what? What the fuck is that?
I will say I did watch a pretty good movie the other day. It was, oh shit, what was that called? That Guy in That Thing. And literally what it is it's just a documentary where they talk to a bunch of...
Character actors?
Not stars, but they're
kind of like Juno's dad, like we were just talking about. Like
no, because
faces.
He's actually starring in something. What I'm talking about is all these guys are guys that are not the extras, but they have regular roles, but they're not the stars. They're always the co-actors.
Kind of like what the hell is that guy's name? Never mind.
Well, like one of them is actually on one of the CSIs. But he's not like the main guy. He's the actual cop guy, not the CSI guy. So he's the guy that goes out and busts them. So he's usually in every episode, but he's only in a couple scenes of every episode.
Yeah.
It's either that or he's the guy that walks around the office and he talks to everybody, and like that's the only time he's in it. He's never the dude that's doing the experiments or anything like that.
He's a plot point guy.
Exactly.
He's like, okay, I'm going to fill you in on what the plot is right now.
Yep. The other guy, and I can't remember his name either, was...
Because they're not names, they're faces.
Exactly. But he was
the whole point of the documentary.
You remember in the X-Men movie, the politician dude that ends up being turned into a mutant?
Yeah.
He plays that guy.
Okay.
And the funny part about it is when they started talking about being that kind of an actor is that it's so annoying when people do exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
Is walking up to him and going, "Oh, you're from... you played that guy in that, like they never know who you are or necessarily what you were in, but they're like, your face.
Yep, I know you're in fucking everything. You don't turn down a job.
Yeah. Well, the one guy was saying the first couple of things that he ever did in Hollywood, like he did a McDonald's commercial, and that was the first thing that he ever did that he got his face up there. And after that, he ended up getting an agent. So he moved from
quick mover from McDonald's to agent.
Yeah, he went
put
from
on a pretty good performance.
He got that, and he was the only person in the McDonald's commercial. Like the whole thing starred him, and he did like 4 different characters through the thing.
Wow, that's a good showcase.
And he ended up moving from Detroit to Hollywood and got himself an agent. The funny part about it was he said he didn't even have a car. He took a Greyhound bus out there, and then the first things that he was doing, he was in Star Trek. So he was doing The Next Generation, and then he started doing the other ones. He actually appeared in Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and
Voyager.
A couple of the other ones. And he was like 23 episodes all in all. And he was saying that was the coolest time he ever had being an actor. Because after doing the McDonald's thing, everybody in his hometown, basically, he grew up in Detroit, so in his area, knew who it was. But then when he moved out there again, he was faceless. And then when he was doing this, he was going, I was pulling in good money, you know, I was getting decent stuff, and I was getting work like every other couple of weeks or whatnot. And then all of a sudden I got this other part, and I was thinking, oh yeah, I mean, this will be awesome because I've already got this shoot going on, this shoot going on. Now I can do this, and it still fits with my budget. So he goes, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to buy a car with it. And he says that he did a little role, and it was just, I can't remember what TV show it was on, but it was one that was kind of popular at the time. And he said then people started coming up to him and doing that, oh, you were that dude. And he's like, for 2.5 years, he's been out in Hollywood. He's done 23 different shows.
I know.
And nobody knows who the hell he is because he's always got a ton of makeup on and he's a different species all the time. And the one time he puts his face on and he's got this clever line that he says that makes people laugh. Like that's what he even said. He goes, I only had 3 lines in the whole thing and my face was on screen for 15 seconds.
Wow.
But after that, people are like, oh, you're that guy that just did that. And he goes, for the next couple of weeks, I couldn't go anywhere without somebody pointing at me. And then another week goes by, nobody cares.
Yeah, everybody fucking forgot. You're last week's news.
Yep. So he's starting to go back to the Star Treks again. So again, that's kind of the funny part about it is you never kind of think about that when you're sitting there going, oh, I want that star money and I want this and I want that. And another guy even says it that people never think about it when you get a check. Let's say you get a $10,000 check. Right off the bat, you got an agent to pay. That takes 10%.
Yep.
Then you got a manager to pay. And depending on the manager, you could be paying 5 to 15% right there. Then, most of the time, you have a lawyer to pay because you're in the SAG, so you have to have somebody on retainer in case something stupid happens.
Yeah.
So he takes a monthly fee. And then usually you have a publicist to try to get your face out in front of everybody else, so they take a monthly fee. So by the time that $10,000 check hits you, you've got about 25% of that check, and you might not work for the next month.
And then the government gets 30% of that.
Exactly, because all that shit is on top.
Yeah.
Because they pay their own taxes.
It ain't easy being rich.
Well, I just can't believe that they pay that many fucking people.
Yeah, I mean, it's your career. You should be able to pull this shit off by yourself.
Oh, yeah.
It's your job. Everybody else has to do their job all by themselves, most normal people.
I can see an agent.
Yeah.
Because then you've got somebody working for you while you're working.
Yeah, that is true.
But I don't understand what a manager does with an agent, with a PR, with the, why doesn't the agent provide the PR?
Yeah. And if you were super rich, would you have a driver or would you drive yourself?
I would drive myself, and I would probably take taxis every place else. Like
I would get a driver.
Yeah, during the day I would
never
myself.
drive myself.
Why
ever.
not?
Why would I?
Dude, if I was rich like that and I paid $200,000 for a car, I want to drive the car.
Well, I wouldn't pay $2,000 for a car. I'd have a fucking town car service that would come pick me up. And I would just sit in the back and pop my Cristal.
See, that would be for night.
Nah, I do that every day, all day.
During the day.
When I'm getting my pedicures and manicures. And my herd aid.
Your herd aid.
That's how I'd fucking roll.
Would you get a normal driver? Like an everyday driver? Or would you just be like, just send somebody?
I would have an everyday guy. I would probably...
That way he doesn't flinch when you smack your bottom bitch.
Yeah. I don't know. If like Tony would be willing to be my driver, I would hire him.
I don't think I would, because he'd
be a
probably like
blast.
fall asleep or something.
No. Tony's trustworthy. Trustworthy enough to drive. Just as long as you pass him the joint.
Yeah.
Then he's happy and copacetic.
He can get kind of ornery, though.
Well, but see, then I'll be signing his paycheck, so then I can just fucking fuck you, asshole.
That's why there's the divider.
And he's my little
no
brother.
More Tony.
Yeah, and he's my little brother. I mean, come on. You got to be fussing and fighting with your brother, or else you ain't brothers. That's the whole fun of having a brother.
Off point, did you hear about the people or the old lady down in Florida that won the...
Yeah, she's like 84 fucking years old.
Yeah.
Why do they always win it when they're old?
There was an interview that I read with her neighbors, because she lives in a duplex.
Oh, nice.
In a 1-bedroom duplex, and the other guys live in a 1-bedroom duplex too. And their direct quote was something like, "I don't think she's coming back to this crap hole."
No. She's 84. She's got like 5 years tops.
Yeah, well,
so she's got to spend that cash.
Yeah, the one thing that it was is they said that her son had already been over there starting to box things up. So I thought that was kind of funny, though. You don't really hear that very often, as somebody's actually like, "Yeah, I don't think they're coming back to this crap hole."
Why would you?
You live on the other side, dude. Yeah, and it's a crap hole.
Yeah. I moved in because I'm a fucking loser.
Yep, exactly.
At least he's self-aware.
That's kind of what I was thinking, is usually you don't hear that kind of stuff. Usually when they're talking about it.
Oh, they're too fucking good now.
Yep.
You ain't won't come live with no more.
When we was always talking about this, that was saying, "I ain't changing.
Yeah, exactly. I ain't wearing those polo shirts with the crocodiles on them.
Yep.
Now look at the motherfucker wearing crocodile.
Right after Labor Day.
I can see it. Lilac Lacoste polo, white shorts with those white slip-on like yachting shoes, no socks, and a gay-ass striped neckerchief. That's how they would do it.
You know, if you won that kind of money, though, wouldn't you just, like, buy everybody on your block a new house?
No, fuck them. That's my money.
Look at $380 million.
Yeah, when you're 84, that's not going to go that long.
What did they say? I read the final number, and it was like, after taxes, it was like $287.5 million.
She had to take it in lump sum at her age, right?
Well, that's what she did.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise they'd only give it like 2-3 payouts. She'd see that first check and go,
Exactly. And her son is like, "You better fucking get lump sum.
Swing it!
I don't care how much the government takes.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you dead in fucking 4 years."
I would honestly say, you'd be kind of stupid not to take the lump sum.
Yeah.
Fuck. How cool would that be to just go to the ATM and hit view credit and be like,
You're like, "Oh, there's not even enough fucking places on this ATM to show my net worth."
Exactly. Oh, it'd be fun. I think it would. You know, the other thing would be is everybody's got a list of people that they don't like businesses that they don't like because of the fact of the owner. It'd be super fun to just be able to walk in and be like, "I can buy you." Like, "What do you want for this business? Because I want you the fuck out of here."
Who would you buy in this town? What establishment do you hate the most?
I would actually buy a couple of different bars.
Like, what? Name it.
Yeah.
Bust them out, man. Bust them out on the pod.
I would definitely buy JP's.
Well, just because you frequent it. And the dude's kind of a douche.
Not kind of. Yes,
Well.
he is a douche. He's gotten a little better, especially since the staff was like, "You're being a douche."
Especially to the person that drops $200 a week damn near at that place.
And brings friends.
Yeah.
That's what I drop, and then I bring friends.
Then I bring friends, exactly.
Yeah, Aaron told me that the one time going, sucks when you're not here, because you're like most of my paycheck.
That's awesome.
Well, you get paid minimum wage, and you got people that are coming in 3-4 times a week for a couple drinks, you know?
Yeah.
They get a couple of dollars here and there, but when you bring 6-7 people, they get $6-7 for every drinks. You know,
Yep.
each round they get $7.
Yeah, exactly.
And the way that we put them down, 2 hours will that'll get you a small fortune as a bartender.
I mean, even when we do the meat raffle from 6 to 8,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm dropping $20-$30. Especially if I eat there, you know, and their food's not that expensive. We're just the pictures of Amber Bach go down so smooth.
Yeah, they do. Especially when you have the free meat coming to the table. Everybody's got to do a little cheers.
Oh, and then when you're up, you already got $30 worth of meat.
Yeah.
Plus a $10 gift cert inserted into that for a good old Foley Meat Locker. Give you a plug. But
what is
and
it
then
called? Grand Champion Meats, Foley, Minnesota.
so I mean you're up $30. So why not get a shot? get a little scotch. Treat yourself. Just blowing wind.
There's a little scotch right there.
That's so terrible.
That's a low baller.
Moving on.
Yep. Well, now my wife can't complain that she's the only one I do that around.
Yeah, no, now it's immortal. Your trumpet song.
Yep. It's good times. Hey, I'm a Viking through and through, man.
I guess. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know. That kind of actually threw my thought out right there.
My bad.
You looked so happy to say something.
I did because I found a great news.
I wish everybody would have been able to see that. His eyes got huge. I mean, his cheeks just lit up. Like, I got a story.
Because I just fucking remembered the bane of my existence, Walmart. You know,
Yeah.
Walmart. The greatest thing I read thus far about Walmart is the congressional report came out a couple days ago stating that Walmart pays their employees so little that basically what you could say is every dollar you save at Walmart, you end up spending $2 on taxes to pay for their employees.
Oh, I know that firsthand. I've read those before.
I mean, there have been documentaries and, independent studies, but this is actually a congressional thing where regardless who the fuck you are, you can't really be like, oh, you just found that on the internet. Somebody fucking said that. That's pretty definitive.
But
so that's what I was all excited about because I'm like, yes, fuck Walmart.
it comes down to the same thing, though, that Walmart actually has this fund that they give to their employees. Well, the option to their employees to actually, put into the fund.
Yeah.
And basically what it is it's an employee goodwill act. I can't remember exactly what they call it, but like an employee has a fire or something like that. This actually goes to their, since most employees don't have insurance or anything like that.
Thank you, Walmart.
Yeah. This goes to helping them. Or if somebody gets really sick and needs, something done.
Yeah.
They have this joint fund that they give to with their, I'll give 2% of my paycheck to it, whatever. And the Walton family is now 3 different people. He had 2 kids and his wife is still living. So the Walton family, each one of them in 2012, or I know this would have been 2011.
Yeah.
Each one of them made over $200 million. So if you look at it that way, if Sam Walton was still alive, he would have been making about $800 million a year after taxes.
That is ridiculous.
So each one of his survivors are making like $200 million a year.
Oh.
They put into this fund where each one of them gave $1 million. The Walmart employees, which average some of the lowest paying jobs in the country, actually gave over $30 million to this fund that year.
Combined?
Yes. So they gave 10 times the amount that the Walton family did.
That is ridiculous. But
I don't know how accurate that is,
well,
but I can pretty much bet that they did actually give more than the Walton family did.
Yeah.
I'm betting the Walton family gave exactly how much that they could get a tax write-off for.
Well, this will help put it
And none of those other guys actually got a tax write-off because on their paycheck, that 2% that they give means a big difference to them, but it's not enough to get a tax write-off at the end of the year. No. You know what I mean? Because you have to give at least $500 to the same charity to get any kind of tax write-off.
Yeah. Well, this should put it into perspective. According to the report, Walmart employs approximately 1.4 million American workers, and then you multiply that by $5,815 per worker is basically what the taxpayers pay per worker. And that total is almost $82 billion annually that American taxpayers pay to keep Walmart employees from starving to death, essentially.
Well, not only starving to death, but Walmart actually encourages their employees to take state healthcare opportunities.
Oh, 100%.
Which, this is the funny part about it is, I'm not going to say that this is the end-all cure-all, because I don't think it actually went far enough. But these people that want to repeal Obamacare, it's kind of hilarious to think that they want to repeal it, saying that it's, you know, going to bankrupt the company or the country. But when you just say that kind of shit right there, most of that, just like any other debt in this country, medical.
82 billion.
But what I'm, you know, what I'm saying though, most of that,
year.
I would say probably 60%, if not more of that, is medical.
Medical, yep. That's pretty much the bulk of it, because in the report they talk about the bulk of it is medical, but then they also say, well, if you include the food stamps that they most likely get.
There's other charities that do happen,
Exactly.
but like I said, I would say at least 60%, if not more. I would actually venture that 70 to 75% of it would be considered medical billing.
Yeah.
And if you have Obamacare, even take out 40% of that cost of what the medical cost would be. So if you're looking at, what was it, 88 billion?
No, 82 billion annually.
82 billion. Well, okay. So let's call it just 80. You know, let's just round it there.
For math sake.
So I'm basically, you know, if you're even taking 50% of that as just, you know, whatever, as the medical. Let's just say that too. 80 billion is what they spend, 50% of it is medical, that's $40 billion. If you could knock 50% off that, $20 billion a year?
Yeah.
Are you really going to think that just having people insured is going to cost $20 billion a year?
No.
Like these fucks that, it's going to cost $1.3 trillion a year to do this. How? Yeah. You know the reason that fucking aspirin is $12,000 in the hospital is because people skip out on their bills every day?
Yeah.
If people didn't skip out on their bills every day, shit wouldn't be so damn expensive. Everybody else has to pay for what they skip out on.
Yeah.
It's the same reason that fucking credit card, if you have good credit, they're going to fucking give you a 2.5% interest rate because they know you're going to pay it back.
Yeah.
If you have bad credit, they're going to give you a 24.9% interest rate because they don't know you're going to pay it back. In fact, chances are you're not going to pay it back.
Exactly.
Because the majority of the people with your credit do not pay it back. So you're paying for their mistakes. You might be an honest person and shit might have happened to you, but you're paying for their mistakes because you're lumped in with them. And you have to do that.
That's how it is with the society.
You have to do that business-wise, though. Statistics make sense. Statistics make money. If you have high statistics of probabilities saying that this dude isn't paying you back, why would you give him $1,000?
I'm just dumbfounded by this entire statement you made, because first you sound like a goddamn socialist where you're like, don't repeal Obamacare and we need universal health care. And then you're like, sound like capitalist style.
No. I'm trying to say that they're never going to change that because of the fact that it doesn't make dollars.
I know, it's just so funny.
Statistics always make money.
That is true.
So they're never going to change unless the statistics change themselves. And if everybody that can go into a hospital has it paid for, statistically speaking, they're going to get paid.
Exactly.
So they don't have to charge $12,000 for a fucking aspirin. They can charge you what an aspirin cost.
And probably cheaper because they buy them in bulk.
Exactly.
Which it should be.
But when you have 112 aspirin walk out the door before one of them is paid for,
yeah,
what are you going to do?
You're going to pass on those lack of savings to the customer.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I always carry a little medical kit on me. And I have the bracelet that says, use my shit first. Nice. Not allergic to anything, but use my shit first. That way they can't put that on the bill, being like, one aspirin. No, motherfucker. No. I had that.
Yep, exactly.
I brought that bottle with me. This is a BYOB emergency room. Wouldn't that be hilarious that you bring somebody in being like, they're really fucking sick, and the dude looks at you and goes, all right, run to Target. This is what I need. Being like, get back now. If I was you, I would have just step on it. If you get a ticket, you get a ticket.
Yeah, no doubt.
That would be the thing, though. It's just hilarious to think that that's what people are saying, that it's going to cost our country so much more money to actually cover them.
Yeah.
But they never actually sit down and do the math and state how many people we don't cover right now. And everybody pays for them because the government pays the hospital back. People don't realize this or what? It's public knowledge. Anytime a bill is skipped out on, they don't get 100% of the bill.
Yeah.
But they do get a certain percentages off in taxes. A hospital's a business just like everything else, even if it's a nonprofit business.
Which it shouldn't be.
Even if it's a nonprofit hospital, it's still a business.
But it shouldn't.
I understand that.
Like, there's basic things.
You're a socialist asshole.
I am. To a certain lament. It's not so much, I'm a humanist, I would say, it's
not socialism to want everybody to be happy, healthy.
Exactly. And why would I want the main industries that are responsible for those things to be for profit? Like energy, healthcare.
Yeah.
I mean, water, basically anything that is your basic human right should not be in the hands of a for-profit, especially when us, the taxpayers, paid for the infrastructure. Mm-hmm. And then are the politicians we put in or, have selected for us, if you want to get really down and nitty gritty.
Yep.
They're the ones that sell off the infrastructure we paid for campaign contributions to some foreign government or some foreign corporation that now owns our highways, that now owns our aqueducts and aquifers. I mean, this country is just selling away its sovereignty every day. It's kind of ridiculous. Because if we went to war with China, what would we do? They'd make all of our microchips. How would we make weapons?
Well, the funniest part about it is there's actually everything is taxed now in a sense.
Oh my God.
You can get caught doing certain stuff. Like in certain states,
the internet's going to be taxed now.
Yeah. Well, like in certain states, there's things like the clean air tax. So if your car produces a certain amount of emissions, a cop can actually pull you over under suspicion of, letting these emissions go. And you actually have to take your vehicle to a place to get it tested. First of all, that's going to cost you money to get it tested.
Oh, yeah.
Then they're obviously going to find something. And, I mean, how many cars have you seen? They take off from a stop sign or a stoplight, and all of a sudden, they're like a fucking smoke screen, and they're gone.
That is true.
Like, it's the old school racing shit.
Because when I lived in California, I saw that all the time. People had those like little, certified stickers all over their car, and then you'd always see these little shops that were like, "Get your test, your CO2 test." Yep. And I was even talking to my cousin. I'm like, "So what the hell is this all about?" He's like, "Yeah, if you want to get your license, like a California driver's license and or license plate for your car, you have to get this." You have to pay X amount of dollars to get your shit checked out. And I'm like, then what happens? They're like, 90% of the time they tell you need to fix something. And then then the people that test it don't even fix it. Then you got to go someplace else to have it fixed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, fuck you, Al Gore.
It's like the same thing on most shit, though. Like, here's a good one. Like, when me and Leo were starting our aquarium, and we were getting fish. I know it. You know it. Anybody with a brain knows it, except for Leah, because she was trying to be, I love my fish. But, I mean, you go to the fucking fish store and you look at the aquarium, and there's fucking 800 fish in one little tiny aquarium. Mm. You can't keep them alive like that. That's just fucking wrong. But, if they get 800 of them there's a certain percentage of them that aren't doing so well, but aren't going to look like it because they're in the school, that kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know it, and I'm trying to tell Leah that shit of going, you take these fuckers home, you put them in the tank, they're going to die in a couple of days. Mm-hmm. Well, the first time that it happened, because we bought 4 of one kind of fish, two of them were just fine. Like, the instant we put them in there, 2 of them were a little iffy about it. Well, one of them ended up bouncing back, and he's still in the tank. Another one ended up fucking, like, dying 2-3 days later.
Okay.
So I brought the fish back, and what their policy is, you have to bring a sample of your water back. Mm-hmm. You know how meticulous I am with my water.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
So...
ridiculously.
Well, I mean, I took it to heart. I read one thing about being an aquarist is you're a water keeper first.
That's the name for you, as an aquarist?
Yes. But doing...
Age of Aquarist! Age of Aquarius!
Oh, that's awesome.
Sorry.
I like it.
Go on.
But yeah, That's what it's. You're a water keeper first, and then you keep fish. Because if you don't you don't have clean water, you have dead fish.
Amen. That's why the Queen of England's buying up all our fresh water.
Damn straight.
But proceed.
And so I bring the water sample in, and I give it to them. And any aquarist knows there's going to be a little tiny spikes out of your nitrates, and your nitrates, which are two types of, let's just say, bad things for fish. 3 bad things for fish. You got your ammonia, you got your nitrates, and you got your nitrates. You need bacteria.
Traits and trites.
Yes.
Okay.
You need bacteria that dissolves all 3 of them, and that's what's called the cycle. As long as you have good of all 3, because they have to be constant. You have to have all 3 of them in the tank, otherwise the bacteria dies, blah, 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 blah. And so I bring my water in, and she tests it, and she goes, well, I don't know. Like, what the hell you mean you don't know? And she goes, well,
it's a little high.
Your pH here. And I was like, what? My pH is 7.4, just like it should be for these fish. Well, how do you know that? So I fucking take out my Google machine.
Out of my pocket like here.
Yeah, it's like, look at this. This is a website that's actually saying there should be between 6 to 8. I keep this because it's a happy medium for all my fish.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, I don't know if we can trust it just a website. And I was like, it's your fucking website.
Is that really?
Yes, it was their fucking website. And so when I showed her that, she was like, oh, okay.
I guess
so. The next time we went and we bought fish like that, I even told Leah, I am not dumping out the water that they give us.
Yeah.
And I did. I dumped it, like I always do it where you dump the fish out of the bag into a net and then put it in the tank because you never want their water in your tank. Different bacteria levels will fuck your water up.
Okay, makes sense.
So, and if there's anything in that water, you're just introducing it.
Blue algae?
Yes, there's different types of algae, different types of diseases. So you never want to, if you want to limit the exposure as much as possible.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
So you want only the fish, and usually you put them in a quarantine tank for a while anyway. But regardless, I even told Leo, I was like, okay, well, chances are 1 or 2 of these fuckers are going to die because that dude does not look good. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he was just kind of swimming in a little circle and doing the half floaty thingy. And so I just dumped it in the bucket, and I didn't dump that water out like I usually do. Mm-hmm. Well, of course, the next day comes, and I tested the water in the bucket, and I tested the water that I have in my tank. And the water in the bucket actually had more nitrates in it than my tank did. And
Which is better, nitrates or nitrites?
Nitrates. Nitrates are actually...
Are they oxide?
No, it's not good for them, but they can tolerate more nitrates than they can nitrites.
Oh, okay, I am so lost.
The whole cycle goes ammonia, bacteria, nitrites, bacteria, nitrates, bacteria, circle back. So, and nitrates are better than any of the other thing. Like ammonia, kill instantly. Nitrites,
well, ammonia kills most things instantly.
Exactly. But nitrates, they can live for a little while. Usually it gets them sick. Usually they'll start losing scales or their slime or, that kind of shit.
White spots.
Yeah. But yeah, I bring their water back to them. And the funny part was, because the fish died the next day, I bring their water back to them. They test it again, and they're like, oh, your nitrates are a little high. And I even was like, that is actually your water.
Nice.
I dumped it in a bucket. Here's my water.
You pulled the old switcheroo.
Yeah, and then she was looking at it being like, well, your nitrates are a little lower than this, but they're still a little higher. And I was going, okay, so seriously, that's not going to poison a fish in 12 hours. If I have an entire tank full of...
But it's their job to try to refuse
exactly,
you to
and
return.
that was my point. Every business does it.
Exactly, you have to.
Every business has that one little key point where they're just like, oh,
Yep.
You can't get the money back.
Yep, you did this.
Yep. Regardless, it might have been only like a $5 fish that I'm talking about, and some of the other shit might be like a $5 million thing, but it's still the same thing.
To you.
To anybody. Money is money. You know what I mean? if somebody's going to get shady, they're going to get shady over 5 million. If they're definitely going to get shady over 5.
That is true. Yeah. If you can't trust them with 5, how can you trust them with 5 million?
So yeah,
Words of wisdom,
I'm
folks.
just saying, it just doesn't make any sense that people would think that bigger companies or bigger corporations are going to be any different than the other ones. If I can try to get hustled for $5 because, well, your water's a little fucked up, well, then how are my other fish living?
Yeah, exactly.
I bought 5 fish from you, 4 are still living. One of them was retarded because he was almost dead. And now you're going to tell me that it was my fault that he died within 6 hours of putting him in my tank.
Yeah.
You assholes.
Because your fish like to jump out of tanks.
Only one fish did that.
No,
And that's the one I took back and told him that it just died anyway because fuck them. They tried to fuck me, so I fucked them.
So you don't have that eel thing anymore, right?
No.
The peacock eel?
No, he didn't jump out of the tank, though. He went into the filter.
But the rope, the rope
Yeah,
fish,
the rope fish jumped out of the tank.
That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah, he jumped out of the tank.
Is that your second eel that died?
Yeah, the first one died of ick when that went through the tank. That sucked. I think it was one of those goldfish that Leah bought.
Of course it is. Fucking
Fucking
goldfish.
assholes.
Can't trust a goldfish.
You can't. They're always looking for the money.
They're the carp of the equestrian. No, that's horses. Aquarist world.
Aquarist.
Aquarist.
Yes.
The age of Aquaristia. That'd be a sweet name. You should name your tanks. Yeah. Because what kind of fish theme do you have going on in your living room downstairs tank?
That's not really
Is
a
it like
theme.
a South American freshwater theme?
I have fish from China, India, Africa, South America, and Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Border jumping fish, huh?
Huh?
And then upstairs you're going straight up Minnesota natural wild.
Yeah.
Are you actually gonna get those finger walleyes?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get one,
One.
and then I'm gonna get some perch,
Perch.
black crappie, and pumpkin seeds.
Yeah, that was for me. I've always requested that. I wanted you to get one of those.
And then I'm gonna
seeds.
get a couple of fucking crayfish and throw them in there too.
Oh, that's gonna be legit. You gonna put you gonna throw minnows in there for food and leeches?
Actually, I'll use feeder golds.
I think leeches would be so much fun.
Leeches I could do, but minnows you don't want to do because if you go to a bait store and you get minnows, you could have parasites
Yeah,
in them.
that is true.
And what would be the point of actually getting fish
leeches.
from a licensed place that breeds them if you wanted parasitic fish?
You might as well have just kept them and threw them in there.
Yeah, I could go to any lake and get a parasitic fish somewhere.
That's illegal, you said, right?
Not if my nephews do it.
Ooh, you could just say it's your nephew's tank.
Yeah. If my nephews want to do
Loophole.
it, yeah, because my brother
Love
won't
loopholes.
let them have a tank, so I can say, no, that's my nephew's tank. I let them do it. But that would be a big thing. I mean, if you hook a little tiny fish like that, it's going to fuck them up.
Yeah, that is
I
true.
remember doing that when I was a kid, and sometimes you'd hook them, and
Well, let's just go netting.
that's illegal.
Only if you get caught.
This is true. Most things are illegal when you get caught.
Exactly. Yeah, this is America after all. Land of the free. Bullshit.
In fact, most times when you get caught for something, they find other illegal shit. So
that especially when we're never like riding clean.
no, there's never a time where if I get pulled over by the cops, I don't think like you do the quick math.
Oh yeah.
You do the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, still not a felony.
Yep. It's like you gotta love it because it's like when you go to a concert and then you see like the security of any that has like security
Trying
that
to
pats,
chase a joint.
that has pats you down. Then all of a sudden you see all the stoners like walking up, all to the entrance, and all of a sudden, whoa, stop, kind of do the whole pat down, make sure everything's in the proper place, and then they go proceed through the line.
Or the scared ones that dump at the first garbage can they come across. I wonder how many pipes they get dumped in every fucking place. Like the little kids that are like, oh, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, got somebody searching. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You posted.
I wonder how many bags of weed and how many fucking
In
pipes
garbage
they have in that first garbage can that's there. I mean, if you're one of the security guards, wouldn't you just dump that one out instead of actually putting it? I wouldn't just put it in the garbage. I'd be like, there's probably quite a bit of money in here.
Oh, exactly.
Skunk fucking shit?
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I can't wait. Astronautilus on the 14th, First Ave. It's going to be a blast. Be the third time I've seen him. Technically, I was going to say that the second time this year. But I saw him on New Year's Eve, but he finished before it was midnight.
And he's not talking about the show.
Hey-o. Sticky Center.
Sticky Center. Nice.
That was a great show on New Year's Eve. It was Harmar Superstar, who headlined with Astronautilus. Have you ever heard of that Harmar Superstar?
Yes.
Oh, he's a strange fucking cat. He looks like a real life version
That
of...
guy in that thing?
No, the Critic.
No fucking way.
The cartoon character. He looks just like the cartoon
Like with the
character.
comb over and all?
Oh, yeah. He's got the long, curly like hair with the bald spot.
Oh, yeah.
Big fatty. He's got some good tunes. I enjoy him. He puts on a show. He always ends up in his whitey tighties before the show is done.
That's a
Disgusting.
little odd.
Yeah, but he's fat, so it's funny. He ain't no Marky Mark in the Funky Bunch.
What, he has only 2 nipples?
Marky Mark has 3 nipples?
I thought he had 3.
That is something I'm unaware of.
Mark Wahlberg?
Well-
Yeah, I thought he had surgery on it, though. I get it
Get removed?
Yeah.
Oh, what a vain bastard.
I don't know. Maybe I just heard that, but
I think you made it up, but I approve
I am
it.
drunk a lot.
Hey, but it makes for a great story. So,
I know.
Breaking news. Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, heard it
Tri-nip.
here first.
Tri-nip.
Tri-nip.
Does his third one have as much hair as his other two?
I don't know.
Or does he wax? Do you think Marky Mark waxes?
That's a good
Manscapes
question.
it?
Oh, He's hairless.
That is true. And most men shouldn't be hairless. Boys are hairless.
Yeah, I've never seen the point in doing that because it just looks like a lot of work. You have to do it every day.
And I have ventured into that realm when I was younger, and it itches. Like your chest hair, if you shave it off completely, when it starts to grow back,
I have never shaved my chest.
Yeah, I don't recommend it.
Well, now I got to try it once.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
But
it's
it's
going to be
gonna grow-
real. How do you get around the nipples?
That's when you use the trimmer. Just
That's
kind
some
of.
sensitive areas right there. I mean,
You don't get
'cause
all.
I got the afro nipples.
You don't get all the way down to the core.
So you use the guard.
Yeah, you just kind of trim.
You just give it that 5 o'clock shadow.
or I like just do the comb over the nipple. Yeah. I'm self-conscious.
Just lick your finger and
I think my nipples are a little too purple.
oh, but that would be weird because then you'd be walking around and it'd be like your nipples are like sandpaper against your
Oh
shirt.
yeah. You'd be like a marathon runner. You'd have to put like
Band-Aids
over so your nipples don't bleed. I'm not running marathons. I'm just walking home.
It's like extremely fat people on why they can't walk. Because their inner thighs look like those Swedish fish after a while. You only gone 2 blocks and they're fucking
Burning.
Oh, Lordy, I gotta sit me down.
These were new pants. How do I have a hole in the crotch already?
Oh, I've never seen so many fires started.
Especially with the fat redheaded.
Yep. The smell of burning denim is just it's kind of a weird one.
God forbid they're wearing those like windbreakers that melt to you.
Oh, that's gonna be some surgery when the swelling goes down.
Ooh, son. That is hot stuff.
These same people we're talking about, I just feel obligated to say this right now. people should really be aware that spandex is not a right. Yeah, I mean,
Amen.
Just because you're on a bike.
The sad thing is that's trend.
Yeah.
Girls wear those little black stretchy pants everywhere now.
Well, some of them wear them like under stuff and all that.
Yeah, like
and
they
I
have
still
really
don't
long
understand.
sweaters.
And I still don't understand that though.
Which if you're a chunky girl, please wear a sweater over it. Because if you are a little tight little unit, more power to you. I approve of that message.
Nothing says I will fuck anything like wearing all spandex on a little girl.
Oh, not a little girl. That's just taking it wrong.
Well, I'm not saying that. You know what I mean.
Okay. A fit.
God, we're going back to Chris Matthews.
Yeah, a fit girl.
Yes,
fit
okay.
Girl.
I'm saying little as in skinny.
Oh, okay, I got you. Sorry. I'm very sensitive after that Chris Matthews whole conversation.
Just sit down.
Shh. No.
Come on, just sit down. Yeah, I understand. I just felt obligated to say that, though. God damn it. Because I saw one of them the other day and shopping. I should just say that.
Was it Walmart?
No, it was Target.
Okay, good.
But
Don't shop at Walmart.
It was Target. Shut up. But
So the local evil.
yes. And so I was shopping there, and I happened to look down one of the aisles, and I literally had to do a stop second look. You know the one I'm talking about? Where you, like, walk by the aisle and then pretend like the fucking thing that's on the end of the aisle
Is interesting.
yeah,
Like,
be like, I've always wanted one of these, and you pick it up and you kind of looking down the aisle and you're like, oh shit,
you're pretending.
that is exactly what I thought I saw.
Yeah.
Like it would be this. Let me just say it this way: it'd be like walking down an aisle and seeing a giant slug that's not mucusy,
But covered
because it's encased in spandex. The funny part about it was she was actually in one of those little Target wheelchair thingies. Like, yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
And
But they probably weren't spandex then.
well,
regular
that is true. That is
pants
true.
that she turned
That's the
into
biggest that's the biggest thing she can pick up off the shelf. Oh, I never even thought about that. Now I feel sorry for her.
Way to go, Sam. Way to go. Calling out.
No, all I was saying, though, is I have never seen so many rolls fold over a fucking armrest. It was almost like she had to lift up. You know what it really reminded me of is, you ever seen the Cleveland Show?
Yes. That girl?
Yes.
I can't remember her name off the top of my head, though.
Dude's wife.
Yeah.
Fat chick.
Cletus's wife.
Cletus's wife,
Is it
yeah.
Cletus?
Yes.
Okay, I just picked quintessential redneck.
Yeah, this is a slack-jawed yokel.
What the fuck was her name?
Yeah, I don't even know if it's Cletus.
Audrey.
but-
No?
Okay.
Was it?
I don't know. But if you've seen that show, you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
It reminded me a lot of that, and I just kept thinking, I wonder, because I do understand that there are some people it's a glandular thing, or some other people it's just genetics. You're just not meant to be a small person. Other people, there is that gigantism thing.
I got that of the nuts.
He does have coconuts down there, I will say that. But I'm just saying, there's a certain percentage of people in this country that are absolutely and 100% morbidly obese because of the fact they can't shut their fucking mouth.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
Put the fork down!
No! This is my Hot Pocket!
Okay, don't just start using your fingers, though. Just because you put the fork down doesn't mean. No, I just think it's funny because how many times... everybody started out, like, pretty much the same, though.
What do you mean?
Like, in basic body, weight, shape, that kind of stuff. We all start out pretty much the same. And somewhere along the lines, the chains come. Shut. Somewhere along the
life begins at conception, Sam.
But when you're
Don't get it fucking twisted.
But when you're a kid, pretty much like in kindergarten, everybody's pretty much the same. You don't start seeing the changes.
Oh, I had bitch tits at kindergarten. What the fuck are you talking about?
You were the one. But you know what I mean?
Trampoline was quite embarrassing.
There's not really too much of a change in kids until they get to about second or third grade. And then you get the fatties and the skinnies and the talls and the shorts. Because then they start getting those giant growth spurts in different ways. And so, I mean, you don't really start seeing a giant change until they start hitting that kind of age. But once you get a kid that's almost as fucking wide as he is tall, when are you going to stop feeding him straight fat products? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
This country really needs to look at that shit.
Yep.
Because, oh man, I've seen a lot of little tubby kids. I was a little chunky kid, but that was just the baby fat type thing.
Exactly.
I really cleaned that up come around 6th grade or so. But, yeah, it was just... Now you're looking like fucking most of them are chunky shits.
Well, it doesn't help that it's not so much the I want to say it's almost the volume of food. It's the food has gotten shittier. With all
no, it's because people aren't giving the good food to their kids. My mom cooked for us.
But even the natural food with the GMOs and the Franken wheat and the Franken corn, like that is scientifically proven that the Franken wheat that we ingest now gives your body a spike in, glucose, and then you have a hard crash.
Oh, yeah.
So it actually makes you hungrier because they want you to consume. That's the point. That's what you are, Sam.
Yes.
You consume. You're a consumer.
But they
You're
also have so
human.
many hormones is what I'm trying to say that they throw into it. That's why we were talking about earlier, a 16-year-old can look like a 26-year-old.
Oh, that is because of like the hormones they inject into the chickens.
What is
to make their
what do they
breasts
call it?
Bigger.
Bovine growth hormone.
Oh, that
BG.
100%. And you can't tell me that like I just said, the hormones they inject into the chickens to make their breasts grow bigger do not
or
get
they
transferred
produce
to the
more
women.
eggs that way too.
Exactly. I mean, even the birth control that people are flushing down the toilet are making fish asexual.
Yeah.
I mean, we're fucking this whole thing up beyond recognition.
You know what the funny part about it is, like, when we look back at the generation before us and we started saying, those are the guys that fucked most of this shit up because they started spraying these poisons all over the place. They started doing this. Like, the DDT? DDT was one of the big fucking poisons.
You mean, is it DDT or DEET?
No, it was DDT, I thought.
I thought that was a wrestling move.
DEET is that shit that they put in bug spray.
Isn't that what
that's still in... They banned it, I think, back in the 90s.
I thought that's what they just sprayed, like...
No, DDT was the stuff that they used to actually fucking have trucks that would come and spray neighborhoods and...
To prevent mosquitoes.
Yeah, and it started...
No,
it started making eggs all weird for birds and, like... So many different ramifications.
Yeah.
Like, don't you remember that?
I do, because I actually...
They sprayed crops with that shit, too.
Yeah, I worked with a lady that was from Central Texas. She was an older woman, probably in her mid-60s when I worked with her. And she would tell me, she goes, we as
they used
children
to run behind the
it.
trucks.
Exactly, just like you said, that's fucked up. Yeah. She said that they did that all the time when they were kids. And she's like, oh, now that I know what the hell it was, I am like,
That's what I'm saying. And people like me and you, in the day and age that we are, because that's common knowledge now of going, oh my God, that was stupid as fuck. Yeah. I bet you they're going to do the exact same thing in the future when they start looking at it going, oh my God, these fuckers were genetically engineering this certain type of... what is it, Roundup. Roundup does that certain... They do soybeans, they do corn, they do wheat, they do basically everything. The major ones. And they genetically splice this certain whatever, I don't even know what the fuck it is that they splice into it, that makes the plant literally invulnerable. Or
it is a pesticide, essentially.
No. What it is it makes the plant completely invulnerable to the pesticide. So what they can do is then they can spray their fields. No other plant can grow there. No other bug can eat there. And
we're eating this shit then, essentially?
It's literally, the Roundup does it where they literally make the plant itself just completely resistant to their brand of all killers.
That's fun.
So the pesticides, the herbicides... everything that they make that a farmer can spray on that field will kill everything else, but it will not kill that plant.
I see.
And the worst part about it is even if you're somebody that likes to go out and go hunting, thinking, I'm taking from nature. I'm cutting out this fucking middleman bullshit of
processed
meat. Of getting all these hormones pumped into them. What do you think the deer are eating? They're eating the corn and the soybeans and the wheat.
Yeah,
so they're still eating the shit. So no matter how you go about it, unless you literally raise your own shit from your own seeds, you have absolutely no clue what the fuck is in it.
That is terrible.
And I've even heard of that shit of
Fuck
farmers that don't take it because they don't want it. There's certain different ways that a company can get a warrant so that fields get tested. And if their product shows up in that farmer's field, they can sue the farmer. And the farmer has one of two ways that they can go. Either they can sign a contract with that company now and say, I'll use your product, or they basically can give over their farm because they can't pay the fine.
That is
so
ridiculous.
Basically, and I'm just saying this is my conspiracy on this one, is I have nothing to prove this, but what I'm thinking is,
just your hunch.
Seriously, how easy would it be for one of these companies to just fucking send a guy with seed around, and as people are planting, just throw it up in the air over the fucking field?
Oh, exactly.
Of course there's going to be your patented fucking shit in their field. Or what if the farmer next to you uses the same, the same road, and or uses, or you're only a road apart, and as you're throwing the seeds out, the wind's going.
Yeah.
You're really going to say that it's their fault that shit happens, but the company can still just come in and be like, you're using our patented seed without any kind of a contract. We're going to sue the shit out of you.
Well, those whole companies are just ridiculous because how they make those self-terminating seeds.
Yeah.
Where you basically need to buy seeds every year because they destroy nature. And nature is kind of a self-propagating thing. That's the beauty of nature, right?
Exactly. Majority of plants, especially if they were designed to live in this kind of environment to begin with, the majority of plants do come back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, how would they still be here?
Yeah, and how would we still be here?
I just think it's kind of funny that this kind of shit happens and other people don't even notice it. But
well, I mean, other people do. What's funny is because Japan and South Korea and Japan are refusing our wheat and our corn because it's GMO. And there's huge protests going against Monsanto. That is a terrible
Monsanto is a fucking...
They're horrible.
Yeah.
I don't even want to get started on that. Because they got the iron grip.
Conglomerate. I don't know how that's not a... If they got Microsoft for being a monopoly, how the fuck is Monsanto not a monopoly?
In Microsoft wasn't actively killing you.
And it wasn't technically a monopoly as far as... Yeah, okay, it was. But not nearly to the point that Monsanto is. I mean, Monsanto actually has a hand in the seeds. It has a manufacturing product for the soils.
Yep.
It has the pesticides. It has the fertilizers. It actually makes machinery.
And it has the bovine growth hormone. It manufactures everything. And there's so many people that were out there protesting a couple weeks ago with their kids that had like Down syndrome and all this crazy stuff that were linked to all these crazy frankenfoods that they were getting fed. And I mean, they're destroying our water with the fluoride. They're tainting our natural vegetables with this bullshit and our air with the chemtrails. They're slowly trying to kill us all, man.
No, I don't think it's much more. I was just going to say, I don't think they're really trying to slowly kill us. They're just trying to wait to the point where we can procreate and then kill us. Because they at least want that next generation.
Well, it's the soft kill program. I mean, if you're... Luckily, like, neither of us actually went in the military because They, with their vaccines and immunizations that they give you, they inject some crazy shit on there to experiment with you. I mean, look at MK Ultra. Look at the LSD experiments. I mean, Agent
I'd be down
Orange.
for some of those.
Well, that is true.
I'd stare at a fucking goat.
I don't think those were the same. You're thinking of more of the psychic soldier as opposed to let's see how we can mind control somebody.
No, I'd still take LSD and stare at a goat.
You're like, no, is there a position in the army for this?
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe I need to reevaluate my whole life goal.
I don't think we can actively enlist anymore. Not.
How old do you have to be? Or what's the maximum age?
I don't think you can actually enlist after 30, and I don't think you can be drafted after 40.
They can still draft my ass?
Yes.
What about that one 70-year-old woman that got re-enlisted during Bush in the Iraq War? Remember that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I remember reading a report where this old woman she never really got out technically, so they called her up for active duty because they were so lacking soldiers so much.
I would have a feeling that had to do with the technicality and somebody not putting in the right fucking social security number or something like that.
No, they knew it. It was just we need cannon fodder. Get your stupid ass out there. That's what it boils down to.
We need some wadding to put into our bullets.
I mean, we need fresh blood for the mincer. I mean, the meat grinder needs meat. That's what it does, and that's pretty much what our military-industrial complex is.
Yeah?
I mean, Eisenhower.
You can't really say that it's just ours, though, because every fucking nation that's ever had any kind of power has always been a military power.
Oh,
like England might be doing the whole thing and going, "Oh, you stupid Americans!" But who did this before us?
Did you know that there was a study and a report that came out that actually showed where somebody compiled all this data, and out of the almost 200 countries on this planet, England has not invaded 22 of them. Only 22 countries on this entire planet throughout the history of time, England has never invaded. I mean, that is...
And it's not America, because they're the only ones to try it other than the Mexicans.
Exactly. I mean, it's like very few. Like Chad is one that sticks out that I caught when I was looking at the map.
Well, who wants to invade Chad, really?
Sweden, I believe, was another one. It was one of the three, which is
they would never do that because they have all their money in Sweden.
out of the three, is it Finland, Norway, Sweden?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, then it was Sweden because it was the one closest to the mainland.
Yeah.
Okay.
And everybody's always had their money in Sweden.
Yeah. But, so, I mean...
Either that or Switzerland. But Sweden's another one of those...
Talk about an imperial fucking force throughout the history of the world. Only 22 countries.
Look at Rome.
Yeah. Do you think the Roman Empire actually fell, or do you think they just consolidated into the Vatican?
Well, no, the Roman Empire actually didn't really fall. It was just disassembled. Because some of the big honchos, when they knew Rome was going to fall, emptied its coffers, They did basically the old, go fight them, and then as everybody was out of the city, they just cleaned the shit out.
But isn't there a great case to be made that basically the Roman Empire is now just the Vatican?
Well, it always kind of has been.
Yeah, but I mean, so it technically has never fallen. It just consolidated. Because they're an independent nation unto themselves.
No, because it did fall.
They're sovereign.
Because the Vatican wasn't,
Well, it's not falling. It's a name change.
But what I'm saying, though, is the Vatican wasn't as big right off the bat as what it is right now. Because the Vatican really didn't take any kind of power until the Middle Ages.
Yeah, because the Roman Empire fell into seclusion, but there's still that.
Well, yeah, and then it basically died for a long time.
I don't think it died. It smoldered.
Yeah, Rome didn't bounce right back from that, though.
No, but because they're still just a little sovereign nation. still.
Oh yeah, it's the smallest sovereign nation in the in the world, and I don't understand that because isn't there sovereign nations all over this state and a bunch of other states because of reservations? But I guess they don't consider them sovereign nations; they're just sovereign land.
Yeah, and nobody treats the Native Americans here with any respect, so it doesn't matter.
Isn't Washington D.C. considered a sovereign nation as well?
No, it's a district.
That's true. District of Columbia.
They don't even get voting rights.
That is true.
I'm going to be up at a sovereign nation next week.
Yep. No, sovereign land.
What is that reservation called? What is that region? It's Chippewa. Yeah, it's Chippewa. Chippewa. The best part was I remember this was years ago. Probably 8 years ago, I was talking to a coworker of mine who's actually from like Nepal. And I was, it was before I was going to go on vacation up to, the cabin in the reservation. The best part was I said to him, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go up, hit the reservation, go up to Indian territory. And he just kind of looks at me all strange. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Indian to you means completely different. I'm talking feather, not dot. Yep. Sitting Bull, not Gandhi.
Yep.
But, somebody from Nepal is just like, what? He's like, I don't know much about Minnesota, but I would know if there was a huge Indian population.
Probably would have heard of that one.
Because I'd probably be living there right now amongst my people. I mean, granted, Nepalese people, if that's what you call them, aren't really Indian, but they're close to fuck enough. It's a completely different country, but it's the same region. If you want to get technical, right?
So is Japan and China.
Fucking squinty-eyed bastards.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yep, and I suppose on that note, we should end it for this week's edition of Cautionary Tales from the Red Chair. I'm Jake Jelinski.
Sam Reckner.
Come the revolution!